Good evening, everyone, and love greeting to your hearts. We are back again live for the Monday collective activation. And today, so we are waiting for a couple of persons, people coming online. We will start in a few minutes while we...
Give us a few seconds to start sharing also.
Yes, exactly.
The theme, we can start with talking about today's theme.
So, today we will discuss, share with you, and work around manifestation.
And something called higher mind, which is part of that understanding of manifestation.
Yes, and we will continue the higher mind next week also with the Ajna lights to continue the session of the day of today. So why manifestation? It's obviously how the 5D works and how we are able to shift our frequencies and to create the life that we desire, to create the reality that we want to synchronize and we want to manifest and live. So when we are talking about the manifestation today, if some of you may already know, we had a beautiful level 1 sound therapy training last weekend, this weekend, yesterday as well. And this topic came a lot on abundance, manifestation, and the girl that joined the teaching, beautiful students, beautifully gifted as well, and we experienced massive shift of consciousness during the course. Some of them even said how much it was a life-changing experience, that from tomorrow they will never be the same, that they understood how to love themselves, they got their message, how to be in their body as well, and how to be at their service in order to be at service of their family, their friends, and their reality, so never will cross their way. And during the course, we had a beautiful question that was asked on money, and the student asked, so I don't understand what happened, because I owe money to some people and somehow in debt, but on the other side, the money to subscribe and sign it to the course manifested in no time. It was super fast. That was a very interesting question. So some money that is due is not being manifested, but suddenly the money for the course is being there in her hands in a few days, maybe a week. So this is where we started to understand from the perspective of vibration and also excitement. So the entire 3 days were about excitement and pleasure and joy in everything that we are doing, in everything that we see in our life. So how we can react, or how we can replace our excitement, change it, shift it, or make choices so everything becomes excitement, pleasure, and nourishment. So I asked her, so what were you feeling, or what was your state of mind or emotions where you were projecting yourself for the course? And she was replying, it was exciting, and I was excited to see myself in the course and to learn the sound, and yeah, so excitement. And you already had your intention. Her intention was to do it for herself and for her students as well. So excitement was there, and the money arrived because that was her primary excitement at that time. And then I asked her, what about that money that made you in debt, that you need to reimburse? Is it linked to something specific? Yeah, it was linked to a project. So she answered, it was linked to a project that didn't work, and okay, fine, so in the past. And how are you feeling about that project that didn't work in the past? I'm feeling that I didn't succeed, so I failed. So it's seen and felt as a failure. So there's this vibration and frequency of failure linked to that project, linked to that money that made her in debt.
That manifestation.
Exactly. So that it didn't work, she could have done better, why it didn't work as well. So all those questions that we are putting on ourselves and lowering our vibrations. So when she saw that indeed in that state where she is, to be able to reimburse that person is a state of lack already and deception and failure, then the money is not manifesting. So when we speak about manifestation, it's not only what we think consciously, it's not only what we have. The conscious mind understands that is focusing on one thing, right? And only perceive and receive information. That's what the conscious mind does. Now, in the subconscious mind, we are storing all our memories, all our experience, and the emotions attached to that experience and memories. Most of you already know, especially if you've been listening to us, because this is what we've been repeating and teaching, but we are repeating again. So in the subconscious mind, this is actually our primary vibrations, because all our emotions, all that we perceive as lower, or what we feel as lower, as joy, excitement, love, pleasure, compassion, and all those beautiful energy that we are aiming to fully vibrate at all time, this is the subconscious mind creating what we vibrate, so we send it out there and that we receive. Understand that when you tune on the radio, you are tuning on a specific station and you are receiving the frequencies, the sound waves from that station, because you are tuning
to
in.
that frequency that you're tuning in.
So if your vibrational state is based on a frequency of lack or miss or anger or self-judgment as well, what do we think about ourselves, that not only our cells memory are embedding, but also that we are sending out there? If we say, for example, that I don't like money, this is creating war and money is power, then you are not receiving money the way that you could receive it. I'm not worthy to receive money, I'm not worthy to earn money. What will I do if I have money? Will I feel guilty? And in that case, it's not coming back to you, because you are not vibrating what you can do with the money and how and what you perceive about money. So when we say abundance, it's not only financial, it's obviously abundance in all areas of your life. Relationship, job, the house, your family, your love, self-love to yourself, with the nature as well, and how you are creating your life. This is abundance. So ask yourself, which area in my life is not vibrating love or alignment or excitement? And then look at it closely and see what you are projecting in this area of your life that is not vibrating the higher states, that will lead you to your embodiment of Christ consciousness. Understand as well that what is in your life is a projection of what is inside. So always bring your finger back inside. What am I creating? What am I feeling? Yes. What am I thinking about myself? What am I thinking about other that is a projection of what I'm thinking about myself? Okay? What I fear, what do I think I lack? If we are thinking that we are lacking or missing something, we are in a state of lack, so lacks will come to you. If we are afraid of commitment in our relationship, for example, then we will attract people that are also afraid of commitment or will challenge us in our commitments. So it's always a question of, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? What am I vibrating? And according to that, you will be able to shift the areas of your life that are not satisfying enough to you, according to you.
Yes, exactly. It's all about shifting timelines.
Yes, and the last.
That's why manifestation, the word manifestation.
Yeah, and the last point is understand that abundance is already here, because we are
that's other part of it.
Wholeness.
All the possibilities already available.
Yes, we all have already everything in our vibrations, in our frequencies, in our multidimensional selves. We already have everything. Now, what we haven't seen yet, what we haven't reintegrated yet, what we haven't chosen yet. So as everything is available and will remain always available, what am I choosing? And how am I using it so I can benefit from it and create from it and receive from it?
Exactly. here, I will step in so
Yeah,
I
I know
can
that you want to step in.
which is perfect timing to take you to the other understanding, other expanded consciousness, which is, I would say, generally we don't remember that understanding, that expanded consciousness because of the fall, because of the forgottenness. At the moment you start tapping, we start tapping into that remembering, that consciousness expansion, we realize the power, we realize the possibility that's already available, and we realize we were already judging ourselves and the reality and the universe with our own lag because of the old programming. So one of the idea is everything is a vibration and everything is timeline, in the sense whatever you think is past and future is our consciousness creating a linear time experience. Linear time experience for something we think is past going all the way to future. But our consciousness is experiencing this holographic experience that we call it Earth. So the higher mind understanding is, today I was giving a quick demonstration about how the feedback was received through the environment and how I received the feedback about the higher mind access and the timeline. We have already access to something called parallel reality, other self, perception and timelines. So in a sense, all our possibility that we failed or we succeed, or we were very good or we were very bad, already available in the universe as an access. Our vibration determines which direction we are going to and manifest that timeline. That's what we call manifestation, because we are co-creating every moment with the universe according to our vibration, according to our belief system, emotion, excitement, and those vibrations dictate the direction. The more we relax, today also we were having a quick meditation morning, and we had a lot of, about manifestation and releasing the judgment about our timelines. From our environment, from our collective, from our society, we learn that there is only certain things for success, or this right, this is wrong. That by itself immediately embed within us a judgment toward our action, judgment toward ourselves. When we realize that the universe doesn't have right and wrong, the universe will just respond to your excitement, to your energy, to the all totality of your vibration. And for the universe, whatever you are vibrating, it will just going and give it to you back. So you don't need to think about what is it a right things to do or what is the wrong things to do. You have to focus on what is uplift me, what's make my vibration more alignment into my self-love, into my self-love sharing around me, so I benefit a timeline where it's all happy, joyful, peaceful, prosperous, high vibration. So focus on the high vibration, that's it. Now yet the lower vibration, it's telling us that something wrong here, this is what you're feeling, release it. And accessing the higher mind will give you as experience, either through meditation or through some sort of out-of-body experience, or through the dreams, or through direct knowledge and direct realization, that you already have access to many timelines, you have already experienced many ways of failure or success or positive or negative, and all those timelines already available. It's what you want to focus on based on what vibration you are bringing to yourself. So drop the judgment about, I have some echo. Drop the judgment toward yourself, toward the environment, toward anything, and allow yourself to access to your heart and bring your high frequency vibration. The excitement was Mathilde sharing with you, the energy, the vibration that you are vibrating. And you are knowing in that sense that you are co-creating with the universe. You have to put yourself in a state that Every moment I'm manifesting the timelines, co-creating with the universe based on my vibration. When you put yourself in that state and realize that it's not the circumstances, it's what you are holding, preventing you from accessing that direction. And one of the many belief systems that we brought into society, or lower programming, and some other higher consciousness, I would say, or some people, they know about those secrets, they know about those reality, and they were bombarding our understanding that you cannot, this is the only way, you have to do this, you have to do that. And those, we take them fully granted, and we embed them, and we block ourselves, thinking we are doing the right things. Even health, I was talking about today about health. The moment you are so rigid about what is healthy, you are already telling to yourself, anything else is unhealthy, that means I'm going to get diseases. By embedding that code within yourself already, any moment you are not choosing that healthy things, you're already saying to yourself, so I'm getting disease, because I'm not choosing that high standard. So drop that part. Of course you can and you should eat something healthy, because that is a high vibration. You can feel the vibration by eating that healthy. But the bound with the belief system that attached to it, this is the only way, this is the only way, that's wrong, that's wrong. You're already programming yourself for any chance you are getting wrong to manifest disease as a reflection of what you are already believing in. You see? So that's why to access the higher mind, you need to release the limitation of the mind. You can still practice the positive practice that you are doing, like eating healthy, but minus the limitation and fears and blockages and right and wrong. Minus those. So you're always in excitement. So for example, the example that was shared, Matilda, about one of the participants, her feeling, her attachment of that feeling of that failure, and every time think about it, she brings that feeling of failure, I cannot. This is all belief system, we are bought into it. If she dropped that fear-based emotion vibration and understanding, and she's like, whatever is, and it's part of my journey, and I'm going to learn whatever I need to learn from it and continue moving on and keep myself in high frequency. So all the unpleasant experience is teaching you something. Take the learning and release it. Don't stay with it, don't stuck, don't put judgment on it, don't put labels on it. Take the learning and move on to high frequency. This is the whole idea of ascension. Keep vibrating high frequency no matter what seems outside. Don't buy into it. And the higher mind, which today we're going to work on accessing the higher mind, realizing that when you say I'm thinking, it's by itself, it has its own limited belief system. The higher mind is dropping the limitation of what you think is right, and accessing the heart, bringing high frequency, say all the possibility already possible and available through my higher self, through the universe. All what I need to do is to vibrate on alignment in my self-love, sharing love, and co-create that with the universe. And then you find that your higher mind is already around you. You are already floating in a bubble reality, in a light body that has this super technologies, spiritual technology, which is called the higher mind, that has access to multidimensional. Then you realize you are not limited. So my experience was today, I shared on the vlog if you want to listen to it again, and I got the confirmation and feedback immediately from one friend online. And my friend Marty and his wife, she got the same experience, because now we are tapping into the higher mind. And my friend Paul posted a link about a video of someone explaining that we are tapping into multidimensional state and other parallel universe existence, where we can get knowledge and information, and we can witness in that time, and we witness other possibility we already choose, how it will roll out, how it will played out for ourselves. So in that parallel timelines, it's us in another version played out a different timelines, and we tested out what it will be if I choose that direction. So when we access that, we can say, when I chose that direction, work, failure, fight, something, I end up in that direction. So okay, so I have to learn from my other aspect who chose that direction. I'm not going to choose this anymore because that is a reflection. Or I chose that and see what I reach. So in my experience, I saw myself as a holy brother. That was the vision. And I realized in that timeline we had a kid. And I sort of, when I jumped to that room, I was like, I know this room, this is my house, but I am not me. It's another aspect of me where I have my picture and I look like a saint or something. Yes, I would say that a version of me teaching me something, and in that version I chose that direction where I work more consciously, more strongly with ascended master, obviously, where I reached to that state. So I learned from it immediately and said, I can embed that frequency. I can recall the feeling when I look to the picture in myself and I project my energy newly into that direction and expand further and further. And of course, once you have those experiences, you can get them in the dream times. Now they are available, but you need to know that it's available and you can do them. So you can project yourself to see them. The moment you project yourself and see those experiences, that parallel timelines, there is nothing solid. The universe can listen to everything I vibrate into. There is no right and wrong. It's only vibration of love and high frequency. Yes. Wow. I have superpower. Yes, we have. But we need to remember it first. Because we are blocking ourselves of right and wrong and this and that. You cannot do this. There is only one timeline. It's only 3D. All those stories. And when you have that experience, you cannot buy into the lack, into the fears anymore. And further, your higher mind actually becomes stronger and stronger. Your higher mind is a very spiritual, powerful spiritual technology that has access to the guidance, to perception, to realities, to manifestation, to other, most importantly, to other timelines of you tested out many timelines, and now you are learning from your other self in those parallel reality timelines. And of course, there is many ways of accessing this higher self to bring that realization. Remembering that we are always in manifestation and bring ourselves to a high frequency where our manifestation become an ascension, uplifting energy, increasing our energy, increasing our emotion.
So if you look at your life, if there is anything that is not aligned to your highest vision, to what you are willing to create, what you are, then look at it and see how you're feeling about it, and get your learning and shift your vibrational state. So it can take few minutes, few hours, few days, few weeks, few months, sometimes it's years of learning, but the moment you recognize it, then you already have 50% of the work done. The rest will start shifting. And if you need guidance and help, ask for it. Okay? No one is asking you. The universe is not asking you to remain in that state of pain and that state of...
It's not natural.
Yes, of roaming, roaming
stuck
difficulties.
In some old learning, stuck in your manifestation.
You have, there are somehow a choice that has been made so that you can go through it, but there are also other levels where we can go peacefully, or we can go without pain or without difficulties in those learnings. We are always choosing those learnings according to what we vibrate, so we can recognize it and move from that. So in your life, whatever is lacking abundance or whatever you are not really manifesting, then look at what you are vibrating. Words, emotions, physical, vital energies, thinking process, patterns, and programmings. Cool?
Another aspect is part of the process of remembering. Many of the general frequency that we already have, that we have access to and we forgot, start opening up more and more recently. So some of them we already know about the chakras, our energy centers. That was, our understanding was 7 in the old days. Also, some of the ancient days they used to know and they forgot. But now we are accessing more further than the just 7. It was already available, but we have not get the consciousness maturity enough and believing ourselves that we can have even further power. And we were so limited that our energy is only here. And now we are knowing that everything is frequency, everything is vibration, so we have access further. So one step of what we received from our guidance, and we start sharing with you many times, we mention it, the 9 gates, the soul gate, earth gate. And then recently, many beings and many teachers, many ascended masters joined, and the earth joined. I was teaching about the 10th gate. And through the 10th gate and the higher heart, the crystal diamond heart, you start accessing the crystalline energy, high frequency ascension, 5D, and further, where you have super powerful manifestation and working with your higher mind faster and faster. And through that access, you can connect with even your heart of your higher self on the higher realms and access the higher mind to bring a new encodement. And one of them, last time we were doing the twin flame encodement, which is bring your masculine feminine in alignment and bringing the Christ consciousness within your heart, and many, many more. So now we are tapping into those understanding, we're receiving, I would say, a more step-by-step techniques how to activate them. And this is what I do on the morning when I jump into the astral, or I meet my guides, or I access the other timelines. I do the heart resonance, what we share with you all the time. Build up the fuel of energy, because we are made of this vibration of love, and that's the ultimate most things we need to achieve, to build up, to increase, because we've been so suppressing our love and afraid and vibrating in low excitement, where we sort of forgot how to love ourselves, which is the most important. You have to love yourself. You have to say to yourself every time, I love myself unconditionally. No condition. You have no condition to love yourself. You have to start vibrating that. And then I am loved. The universe loves me unconditionally. And then share that love and receive that love and amplify it like infinity. That's what we share in heart resonance. And then the manifestation super fast. And then after that, the higher heart, the 9th gate, the 10th gate. We always talk about this. We give them in many tips here and there. We have them in the full sessions, and we are doing the full intensive day also for full activating this and receiving the guidance. So please remember, all those are available, and more is still open up further. We have superpower already available through our higher self from the universe. We need to access the heart, release the limitation of the mind, and you see all those remembering start unfolding.
Do you have any questions so far? Yes.
So if we're vibrating, like we want to vibrate a state, but our cells are so used to another frequency,
yes.
So we have to vibrate a state that is alien to us, that we're not familiar with.
Your cells is not the highest limitation that you think you're limiting yourself. You, the moment you allow yourself to remember, you can tap into many frequencies. They are not aliens, they are natural. So in the heart resonance, we remind the people that the moment you stop your stories, drop them fully, work on it till you drop them. It's easy, just like put them on side, there is nothing. I can't love myself, because there is no story. The moment you put story, you might come up with some old terminology, and then you realize those are the foreign. It's very weird and alien that I hate myself. What I was doing, you see, the slightly shift and bit of practice, yes. And that's why sometimes you need tools. Like the heart resonance reminds you how easy you can love yourself, and how easy you amplify that love through many heart, and remind you that you can connect with all universe, and it's like, it's very natural. It's very not automatic. Of course you need to practice it. And then the cells will drop that alien, that foreign frequency that I am fears and it seems, it recognizes again, it's nonsense. Why I'm hating myself? It's nonsense.
Your cells are embedding the programs when it becomes so dense that it becomes physical. Okay? So yes, you have a encodement and encoding in your cells, but you are choosing them. You are choosing what you want to encode and get in your bodies. If there are some areas, so for example, your emotional state will become so strong that it will be manifested in your body. This is where we get pain, dis-ease, which is the non-ease state. This is where we develop certain conditions that are not pleasurable. So it's the level of emotion that becomes so dense, therefore became physical. And it's very valid the opposite way. The moment we are in ecstasy and exciting and we are in our soul contentment, in joy, in love, then we are releasing those hormones that is vibrating, that are vibrating in all our cells and changing the programs. But it needs to be overruled. So if you feel happy one day out of 7 in a week, then it doesn't overrule yet the programming. Okay? So it's already there in your cells, already available, but there are some programming that are more important, stronger in it. And that's only because it became physical. So going back to the root of it, so I'm talking more on the emotional aspect, on the subconscious aspect of how we are processing here, how the ego become a burden. But the ego is only the mind, and it's how we are using the mind that becomes an asset. And it becomes a positive tool to use. Without the mind, we are not here. We cannot experience it. So how we are working with the mind and we are allowing the mind to work with us, which would be also the ego.
And also, it's beautiful you share this because the ego and all the programming, because they are programs sitting there, being fed for years, as you said, and they become familiar, they try to protect themselves by, for example, asking that question. So that's a question, of course, for clarity, but for them, it's like, see, you don't have answer, I'm here. I am the real. That frequency of high frequency is wrong. They're trying to protect themselves to stay as a virus, I would say. The more you listen to what we are sharing, we're giving you a bit high up because now we need like a really bit high up to break all those blocks because they are very heavy right now or become very heavy. For example, the moment you start practicing and the word of drop the whole mind limitation. If the mind comes saying, but shut up, just shut up. Like literally, shut up, just sit. I love myself. As simple as I'm saying it. The more you're doing this, you're breaking those blockages and you have to train them because you are the who's responsible. Just don't buy into them because they've been programmed for years. And then you have those spiritual experience. Once you have the spiritual experience, you are not anymore old slave, old 3D. You cannot buy into it anymore. Like for example, right now if you tell me, this, what will happen? I know where I will go, I will know. I've seen myself many times out of body experience. I met my ascended master, I met many, I cannot buy into the old one. It's not possible anymore for me. Because my mind is not my mind anymore, I have a higher mind right now. I can see how I communicate, how I have the screen inside, how everything projected, how vibration, how I work, I can see my vortex. I cannot buy into that I am only a sense.
The first stage would be the mind before the higher mind, but you know it's there, and it's what's your mind processing on a daily basis. So just catch what is there in the mind, like the monkey talk, and have immediate actions.
Yes, you have to be responsible and catch it.
That's
your part. Yes, as a soul.
So the physical tool for this is you catch it, and when you see that you have recurrent thoughts that are negative, then you already write on a paper what you will say to counterpart that negative thoughts. So I don't know if I can make it. I am strong, I am a multidimensional being, I am loved by the universe, I am protected, I
will get the guidance, I will know it, it will come to me. It's ready
and you can read it, or you can remind yourself to say it in your mind.
The sign will come to me.
Those tools
you have to keep vibrating it.
Those tools work very well, so and it will shift.
Another aspect also
fast.
Of what you shared, I want to tap into it so we can put it on the collective. There is a lot of people or families or even other dimensional beings, to be honest. They know all the secrets, they know our fears. They've been feeding our fears all the time. They've been controlling, And they know the more they bring some confirmation and suppression, and we call it a bandwidth of lower frequency. They project all the time bandwidth of lower frequency through the news, obviously. Hospital, chemical, blah, 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 blah. So we are buying into it from all the aspects, and for us it becomes difficult to remember, and they know that. And for them, controlling is one of their enjoyment, because they strive on that of, okay, I'm owning the space, I control people. They still love themselves, by the way. They're doing all the manifestation by loving themselves, but not loving others. That's the only difference. So still, for ascension, the first step is to love yourself before even loving others, because you cannot provide them that love without loving yourself.
Yeah. No, like I find that even if it's good for like a few weeks and then bam, it's even stronger out of nowhere. Like
Because
in a wave.
Because you will
Yes,
learn it,
I know.
and you will need to see another angle to fully learn that lesson from all angles. So you will be tested somehow, or you will call for the same learning but on a different, with a different entry point.
And sometimes it will be just you reassuring yourself, are you choosing this or not?
Yes.
So we've tried it on ourselves many times. And if you don't buy into the next wave,
Then it will
just
not
don't buy
come
into
back
it. Huh?
anymore.
It will find that it just went. It's like, so why it came? It was just this, you make sure that you are you sure it is.
Mm.
Yeah, you should choosing. Are you stepping up? Because we are collecting those, especially for light worker, different for other people who's not really light worker because they don't care to share the knowledge. The light worker, they will come here and get all the karmic baggages and work it out and try it again and try it again, and then they collect all their learning and experience. I would like to share it with all humanity. So it is beneficial, but at the same time also counterproductive sometimes, because we're stuck onto, I want to collect as much as I can, but you get tired. You have to be in balance also in sharing the experiences. The universe, to be honest, is an ultimate unconditional support. So all those people they already have in their support, be the role model is even better than taking their own karmic baggage on your shoulder.
And it supports you, the universe, whatever you're choosing. So if you are choosing to go in a way where you are in your conflicts and playing your inner conflicts, it will support you.
Yes,
And
because
if,
that's your
and
choice
if you
and
are
learning.
choosing to love yourself and to learn how to love yourself, and every day to learn yourself even more, till it become unconditional, meaning that your feminine and masculine merging together and birthing a Christ consciousness, and it will support you as well. The universe is unconditional. It's the highest consciousness of all. So it's supporting whatever you are deciding. So that's why manifestation first, know the self, self-mastery, know yourself, and know what you are choosing. So the universe can work with you and for you. Good.
It is. Thank you for the question. It's very
Clear?
good. It's important also because people sometimes stuck in that frequency and they don't know what to do. Yes, we'll stop this.
We can start.
We'll stop there and
No
start the
questions?
sessions. So to integrate the higher mind
Any questions
and
online, please
crystal
post
heart and
it.
everything.
We will answer you tomorrow. And we thank you for following. And if you would like to join the session now.
The link
the
is
full
available
session.
already.
Yes.
If you want to see the higher mind access and the 9th gate and 10th gate, and we might call someone to support also. That's another part of expanding consciousness. Allow the guidance, allow the support from the universe to come from all directions, from earth, from stars, from the sun, from the heart of the one, everything.
Thank you very much, everyone.
See you.
Bye bye.